Like, I think about different scenarios. What if the employer look at it this way? And trust me, before I was able to get myself back, it took me courage. Before I could even apply for another job, my friend that introduced the job to me had to convince me. I said, are you sure? Because I don't want to move from one frying pan to another frying pan. She had to convince me. Many of us come from cultures that is uncommon to ask for things directly, or we are even afraid of rejection. When it was time, they said to him, we cannot pay this amount of money. It was just through miracle that he got his sponsorship. When I eventually quit the job, I had to take a full month for myself for healing. Our tone of communication as Africans is totally different from how it is over here. And I totally understand where the fear is coming from. If you are in any of this situation and you are unsure of how to write such email, just comment below. I've had conversation with few migrants here in the UK who have expressed one common issue. They are very talented, they are hardworking, and they have got their dreams set on staying back in the country. But there's one thing they are not doing, which is they are not asking for what they want. They are hoping that the employer magically offer them the visa sponsorship when the right time comes. And the question I ask myself is, when is the right time? Is the right time right for you, or for the employer, or for both of you? You are hoping that your hard work, your dedication, and your performance speak for you. But you know what? Most often than not, your hard work, your performance isn't even enough. You need to speak up. And that is the case of few or many people here in the UK who are currently looking for sponsorship. That is their situation. Some people are even advised that if you go for recruitment, do not tell the employer that you need visa sponsorship. Get onto the job. Work until your visa is expired, then tell the employer, then you have acquired some skills in the workplace.
What?
You don't need to take that risk. That is huge risk. If you are in this situation, or you know somebody in this situation, then I think this video is for you. At the end of the day, you are going to learn how to communicate. You are going to learn how to put your terms on the table before the employer politely. Please stay tight. My name is Fatimata Ali. If you are watching me for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like this video so YouTube can push you to reach many people. Liking is very important. I emphasize again, give this video a thumbs up if you find value in the video, and please leave your comments, your thoughts in the comment section. See, it is very important that you express your thoughts from the beginning. Express your thoughts, your need for visa sponsorship. Whether you have a 2-year visa, whether you have a 1-year current visa, whether you have a 5-year current visa, does not stop you of communicating to the employer that you might need a visa at the time that your current visa is expiring. You might need a visa in 3 years' time, in 2 years' time. You must learn to communicate that from the beginning, from the time of your recruitment. Let the employer have it in the transcript. Let it be written down. That is it. That is how it works in the UK. Do not leave it for last minute. Do not leave it for when you are unsure about your future in the UK. Think about it from the employer's perspective. They might not even know that you need visa sponsorship. They might be busy running their day-to-day responsibilities, or they might even be busy employing other people who need visa sponsorship. They might give all their slots, their limited slots out for that year. Meanwhile, you need that visa that year. At the end of the day, you are to be blamed, not the employer. You don't expect the employer to be watching your immigration records every single day when he or she got his or her responsibility to run, when he got other migrants or other employees who need visa and have clearly communicated what they need from the beginning. If at the end of the day, your visa runs out and you remain illegal, or you got to go back to your country, that's when you hear, oh, I've worked for this, oh, I've worked for this employer for 2 or 3 years, and the employer is telling me that, oh, unless next year we cannot sponsor you, but my visa is expiring this year. Who is to be blamed? They are working with their limited sponsorship, and when they exhaust that number, they cannot offer anymore. So it is important that if you are already in their records, please communicate. If at any point you are unsure if the communication you had with them, they still have their records or not, nothing stops you, or nothing is wrong if you send a reminder. Having an open conversation with your employer, particularly from the beginning of your job, it is very crucial. Or few months into your job, it is very crucial. Trust me, this will save you from a lot of unnecessary stress. Like I said, I've had conversation with few people, and the amount of stress they are in, oh my God, it is disheartening. Well, I know it is not easy. Many of us come from cultures that is uncommon to ask for things directly, or we are even afraid of rejection. But the thing is, if you never ask, you will never know. The worst thing you can get is a no. And that is far better than putting yourself in that mental stress or that unnecessarily breakdown. And if that is even the case, if you get the worst answer, which is no, it is still better than not knowing. At least you will start making alternative plans. At least you start looking for other options. It is better than not asking and hoping in your head, filled with worry, second guessing, and putting yourself through unnecessary anxiety and stress. Asking for visa sponsorship, it is not too demanding. It is you being clear about your future goals, about your future, and most often employers will appreciate you for your honesty. And I understand is the fear of rejection, or is the fear of not being polite, or is the fear of sounding dumb, or is so many things. Like I can understand, I can relate. Sometimes it's what we have gone through. Sometimes it's the cultures that we grew up, or sometimes it could just be your previous employer that is putting that so much fear in you. Trust me, before I got my current job, I was so scared. Anytime I draft an email, I have to pass that email to my friend for my friend to read and be sure that no, it is okay. Like I think about different scenarios. What if the employer look at it this way? What if they think this way? It was always one thing or the other. When I eventually quit the job, I had to take a full month for myself for healing. And that wasn't who I was. It was just that particular employer. That is not normality. That can never be normal. You are very lucky if you know that, yeah, this is a problem I have and you are willing to work on it. Most often than not, employers will appreciate your honesty. Those employers that will not appreciate it are employers that already read and understood Africans. They already studied our minds. They already know how to trick us, and they put us through so much stress. That is not your problem, it's their problem. And when you find yourself out of their way, out of their path, you need to heal yourself. You need to get yourself back, because not all employers are like that. And trust me, before I was able to get myself back, it took me courage. Before I could even apply for another job, my friend that introduced the job to me had to convince me. See, this job is good, oh. It's not like this other place, oh. It's good. I said, are you sure? Because I don't want to move from one frying pan to another frying pan. She had to convince me. And not until I actually took the courage, sent emails, communicated my wishes, what I needed, that was when I got to know that, okay, see, this is actually the right thing. These employers are not the same. It was just that particular manager, that particular employer that was like that. And trust me, you need to come out of that shell. When I was changing a job, at some point I was given assurance that yes, they will give me that sponsorship written in an email. When I wanted to resign before I received that sponsorship letter, I sent another email. Can you confirm if I can resign? These are some of the assurance. These are some of the things that you want to clearly communicate. And trust me, most often than not, these employers would not want to commit to such kind of things. What I got was that we were advised that you wait until you receive that sponsorship, because we actually do not have any influence as to when we'll get that sponsorship for you. And I listened to them. I waited until I got that sponsorship. I won't take any step. I will not come to you not being sure that I'll get a sponsorship, I'll get a visa. You are just joining that employer. You don't know that employer. Do not bring whatever you learned from your previous employer, the bad habits, to your new employer. So how do you approach such a conversation? It is not really about making demands. It is about communicating your needs in a positive and professional manner. And I guess that is where a lot of people are facing challenges, because they are not really sure. Our tone of communication as Africans is totally different from how it is over here. And I totally understand where the fear is coming from. Okay, so you need to take your time, okay? Like I used to do. When I write my email, my friend and I, we used to share ideas. Can you go through this email and see how it's done? most of my friends will reach out to me, oh, do you mind drafting this? I will draft my own email and I'll send it to somebody to proofread. If you have such trusted friends in your circle, why don't you take advantage of them? So for example, you could say something like, I've really enjoyed working here and I would love to continue working with the company. As you know, I'm on a visa and I'm hoping we can discuss the possibility of visa sponsorship for the future. Is that something we could explore together? This is when you are a month or two in the company and you are then reaching out to the employer and exploring the discussion of visa sponsorship together. I also strongly recommend that you discuss visa possibilities from the beginning, especially during your recruitment. Okay, tell them you have heard so much about the company. You have got friends that have worked in the company and you have read a lot about the company. You love what they do, and the experiences that you are bringing on board will really make it easier to work with the company, and you are really looking forward to having a future with the company. But again, you are also on a visa, which your visa is expiring in this due date, and you're hoping that by the time your visa elapses, you get sponsorship if they could confirm that. This is a very polite way of talking. Okay. In UK, don't appear demanding. Start with positive statements. Okay. How you learned about the business, the company, how you are bringing your expertise and how your expertise can blend with the company, how you are seeing future with the company. But then you also have your wishes, you have your needs, and you are hoping that if you can be considered, you are not demanding. This is how you are putting it. If you are in any of this situation and you are unsure of how to write such email, just comment below. Okay, just comment below and I will reach out to you either on Instagram or Facebook. I'll listen to you and we'll draft a compelling email. Trust me. And before you have that conversation with your employer or before you send across that email, make sure you know your rights as migrant. Make sure you know the visa sponsorship that you are hoping to go on or your current visa sponsorship. There was a time I was writing an email with a friend and we were just writing the email to the employer to tell the employer that, see, the new rules and regulations are coming to force this day. And we are just reminding you that if we could get the visa sponsorship before the rules come to pass, only because we will be able to get the benefit that the pre-reform rules comes with. That just shows that you know what you are talking about. Do you understand? Make sure you have the knowledge up ahead before you start a conversation, before you send an email, so the employer knows what you are about. Most often, some migrants have to go and get visa news and feed the employers because some of them don't even know about the visa rules. Okay, at some point, one employer offered some migrants 1 year. They didn't know they could offer them 3 years. The migrants have to go and get the information and come to tell them that no, we can't accept 1 year. You can offer us 3 years. And they said, oh, we already applied for 1 year. No, there's a way. Migrants, the employees have to come back and tell them, oh, there's a way that you can upgrade it to 3 years. And yeah, they went and upgraded it to 3 years and they gave them 3 years. That is the power of communication. Don't just accept. Don't just stop. Speak up, please. It saddened my heart. Even after talking to you, people are still very adamant in speaking up. Why? I know one lady that have worked with one employer for 2 good years. When it was time for that employer to employ that lady, the employer got to realize that, oh, I have to pay this amount of money. Actually, the employer offered 2 visa sponsorship. One is a care visa. So when they were about to pay for that particular person and they realized that, oh, it's more than what we are used to be paying, they said, no, we are business and we cannot afford that. After 2 years, communicate. Let them know the type of visa you will need. Keep reminding them. At any point you have doubt in your head, send them an email, remind them. Let them know the type of visa you are on and be sure if they will sponsor you or not. Do not wait until your future is almost uncertain. I know one guy, it was just through miracle that he got his sponsorship. Even after stating from the beginning that he needed visa sponsorship. When it was time, they said to him, we cannot pay this amount of money. At any point, if you are unsure, send a reminder. Send a reminder. And the guy was very happy that he met the owner of that organization, said to the owner that, see, this is what the manager is saying to me. And at this point, I have sacrificed my visa for the company. I need the visa help. That was how the owner intervened and said, Why is she saying there's no money? At least you need the visa now. We should be able to come to your aid now. When we needed you, you were there for us. You see, if at any point you feel like, oh, I need to remind these people, remind them. Let them give you reassurance that you are in their list and this is the time they will sponsor you.